Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
Alright, today we got the announcement of the Anthony Joshua Oleksandr Usyk undercard. Now, I've already touched on that. It's a terrible undercard. It is. It's a very, very weak, poor undercard. Luckily, the main event is very good. It's, in my opinion, is one of the best heavyweight fights that can be made. You know, when you're looking at the heavyweight division, you're thinking of big fights that can be made, big fights that we actually want to watch and are excited about. AJ Usyk is right up there. It's one of the best. The undercard, as I said, terrible, not good at all. And bear in mind, this is a pay-per-view card. Now, Eddie Hearn has hinted, he hasn't confirmed it yet, but he's hinted at what the price of this pay-per-view is going to be. Now, I'm going to do a quick little history lesson with you. In 2019, December of that month, AJ fought Andy Ruiz. And for that once-off fight, the rematch in Saudi Arabia, the pay-per-view price was increased. It was increased to $24.95. We'll round it off and say £25. Alright? We're told that was a once-off because of the event, because of the history, because of everything that surrounds it. Look, that was what it was. Okay. Fast forward 1 year later. 1 year later, December 2020, drastically different world, unfortunately, than 2019, December 2019 was. And Adam Smith, Eddie Hearn announced AJ versus Pulev in December, and they said the price would stick at £25. Now, Adam Smith was grilled about that, and he was asked, rightfully so, why did you do that? You said it was a once-off. Why did you do that? And Adam Smith, being him, he wouldn't give an honest answer. It was, people should pay for the benefit of seeing AJ make a defence and, this, that and the other. And it was Rob Tebbutt who said, yeah, but you said it was a once-off. And they were like, well, it was a once-off for a big fight, but AJ's in a mandatory. And as he was like, but it's Pulev. It's not, there's no history with this. Why are you doing that? And then they kind of excused it by saying, well, AJ's used to having a massive attendance. I think there was 1,000 fans let in for that fight. I think it was 1,000 was the max. So they were trying to recoup it. Now, in my opinion, with the way things were in 2020 and the economy absolutely taking a tank, still is, it would have been better, because people didn't have as much disposable income, they still don't, to bring the price back to the normal kind of 20 quid. They didn't do that. As I said, they kind of excused it by saying we won't have full attendance, etc, 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 etc. Here we are. It's almost September 2021. AJ is going to fight Usyk with 60,000 fans. Capacity is going to be 60,000 fans at that fight. And Eddie Hearn is still, now he's hinting at it, he's not confirmed it, but he's still hinting that this is going to be 25 quid. Some people are going to say, yeah, gee, are you getting pissed off over 25? Yeah, the principle. We were told 2 years ago this was a once-off. He said under exceptional circumstances in 2020 it had to stay. Well, what's happening now? You've got a full attendance of 60,000. Not only that, the undercard is muck. Absolute muck. You paying 25 quid for the benefit of seeing Campbell Hatton, the privilege of seeing him? Seeing Callum Smith in what I imagine going to be a pretty lackluster fight. Lawrence Okoli fighting someone who has a very, very padded record who he's going to wipe out in a couple of rounds. You're paying 25 quid for the privilege of that. There might be some Americans who would look at me and be like, gee, do you know what we have to pay over in the States? And whilst I can sympathise with that, at the end of the day, we're consumers over here. We were told 2 years ago, once off. That once off became another once off. How many once offs? How many times are we going to have to pay? How many times is the pay-per-view for AJ going to go up and up? They were talking 50 quid potentially for the Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua fight. 50 quid on pay-per-view. It's gone down, obviously, for the Usyk fight. Usyk's a good fight. But I don't think this justifies, if it is, keeping the price as it is. I think if anything, people, as I've said last year several times, they don't have as much disposable income. They just don't. It's the fact they don't have as much disposable income. There are people who might really want to do it. There are people who might not have 5 quid at the end of the month to even spend. So why charge them extra? Why not just keep it as it is? And if you're insisting on increasing the pay-per-view price, what are we paying for? As I stated earlier, we're paying for a good main event. We're paying for a decent undercard. Well, we're paying for a good main event, but we're not paying for a decent undercard. We're paying for a very lackluster, one-sided undercard in many fights. That to me doesn't warrant an extra £5. It'd be nearly 30 quid over here in Ireland. Now, I made the conscious decision before that I wasn't going to pay for this card, irrespective of how good the main event is. It's a matter of principle for me. It's nothing to do with the price. It's a matter of principle amongst other things. I haven't bought a Sky pay-per-view in a while, and I won't be buying one ever again. I don't. So I won't be paying for this, but there may be others who want to. Maybe others who don't know how to use certain websites, because that does happen. To be fair, some of them can be a bit confusing. You know what I'm talking about when I talk about how to watch fights. Some of them with the ads and stuff like that, they can be a bit confused. Now they can be choppy at times, so I can see why some people might say, for convenience, we'll go see about buying it on pay-per-view. But still, as I say, what are you paying for? You're paying for a very weak undercard. You're paying for a good main event, but all of this purpose is a weak undercard. And as I said, it's a principle kind of thing. A once off for AJ Ruiz too. All right, the next year still 25 quid. Right, well now they had the excuse back then of there wasn't any fans. We need it. We're paying these guys. Well, now you've got 60,000 fans. Why are you still doing it? Explain that to me now. Adam Smith, explain to me why you are insisting on charging these fans. Eddie Hearn exactly the same. Why is it still being this amount of money? Why can't it go back to the 20 that it was, pre-Ruiz 2? Why is it still at this? Because it's pretty much the same as it was back then in terms of you're getting the full attendance, 60,000, pretty good number. What was wrong? What's wrong now that wasn't then? What reason is it now? Adam Smith trying to make it out that the fact that I think he kind of alluded to the fact that because AJ last year was in a mandatory, it was a big fight, almost on par with Andy Ruiz too. It was like, no, it's not. If that's the case, then every fight is a big fight. Every fight, should be going up and up and up in price. Some people might say, gee, you're complaining a bit. And I don't want to come across as someone who complains. I always want to come across, that's the way I am in real life. Someone who doesn't complain. I don't like that. I don't like people who moan about everything and just, oh, the sun is out today, but oh, it's too hot. Oh, but now it's raining. Oh, now it's dull, but it's too dull. Those people who are just moany, what. Don't like those people. But I got to call BS when I see it. And I got to call out people who've said things in the past and they've not then followed through with them. And that's what I'm saying here. If in fact this is the case, because to say it's being reported that it is, he's hinted at it. Well, I hope that hint turns out to be a bit of false misdirection and it does go back to the normal 20. You wouldn't still let me buy it, but it's more a 20 quid card than a 25 quid card, certainly. Yeah, main event is good. Undercard is crap. Absolutely crap with a capital C. And as well as that, as I say, the people who can't afford that. There are so many people I've known now over the last year who are living from paycheck to paycheck because of certain things. And they would want to pay for pay-per-view, they just can't afford it. My heart goes out to them people. And if they can't afford it, I would say pay for it, but you're paying for something that really isn't worth it. That's my 2 cents on it. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Will you be paying for this, yes or no? Do you have any issue if it is staying at 25, or are you like me, someone who thinks if a once off is a once off? If you did it that one time, stick to your word, bring it back down. Bring it back down. Because I've always been someone, if I say I'll do something, I'll do it. And if I say this is a once off, it's a once off. I don't that's just not me. I'm just not that sort of person. So let me know in the comment section what you think. Will you buy it? Will you not? Are you going to be VIPing it all the way? That's my go-to one now. VIP and then BOX. That's my go-to favorite place to watch my fights. Little hint there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section. If you could, smash the like button, subscribe of course if you haven't already, you know, all that good stuff, hit notification bell, all that. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you. Peace.